Yeah, no, thanks a lot. Like they mentioned, Chris Hinch. Before coming to Microsoft, I was a two-time MVP in Copilot, so been around Copilot for a while. I also run a podcast called Feature Frontier, where my buddy Richard and we go over the what's new in Copilot every month. So you can find us on your favorite podcast platform, whether it's Amazon, Spotify, Apple, all those ones, or you can go to the website. It's featurefrontier.show. So you can go out there and you can listen to all the what's new features as well. So let's dive into it. So what we'll cover today, we'll kind of talk about where the agentic vision is today, how it sits today, knowing that it's continuously evolving. We'll look into edit in the apps like they were mentioning. He said we weren't going to touch on agents. We can't have a Copilot conversation without touching on agents, so we will briefly touch on them. And then I'm going to do some demos. When I was prepping the demos, I wanted to do them live in real time, but some of these take a little bit to run. So they are recorded demos, but they are as of yesterday. So it's not like some staged scenario. These are real demos. I just cut out all the dead spaces, so you weren't just watching the cursor kind of go. So that's kind of what we're going to cover today. So the agentic vision, like they mentioned earlier on the flip of the intro of the call, a lot has happened since this has kind of come about. And like we've had, agent mode, and then we had edit in, and then we have agents, and what's what, and what do we use what for, and where do we start, and what are they for? I can tell you how it sits today. Maybe changing tomorrow, but we can talk about what it is today. So chat first. That's when you don't know how you want to start. You just have an idea, and you're like, I want to start somewhere. I don't know exactly what I need. I'm not currently in anything. It's you're looking at a blank PowerPoint, or you're looking at a blank Word doc, and you just don't know where to start. Well, just pop open Copilot Chat and ask one of the agents, the PowerPoint agent, the Excel agent, or the Word agent, and put the idea there and let the agents help you get started. That's what those are there for. The cool thing about those, as it sits today as well, is even if you're just Copilot basic user, you have some form of access to this. Now, basic users don't get access into, Work IQ, so you don't get all those things, but you can at least get started. And that's always the hardest part, is how to get started. Once you get started, and if you have a full license, then we can go into the edit and app. So this is when you already have something already created, and you need to refine it, or you need to make some edits alongside you, and you need that co-pilot, as the name suggests. You need that coworker there with you to collaborate with you. That's what the edit and the apps are going to be for. So when we're in edit and apps, like I was mentioning, you do have to have a license for this. You have to have a Copilot premium license for this. And they mentioned at the top, this used to be called agent mode. It's called edit in. If you're in Word, it's edit in Word. If you're in Excel, edit in Excel. But it uses that Work IQ grounding to help grab whatever content that you're needing to make whatever you're working on at that point as good as it can be and as up to date as it can be with the data that you have access to. And some of them, Excel is the only one today, but it's on the roadmap to get more coming. But you have model choice. So whether you need a GPT model or you need an Anthropic model, granted, Anthropic has to be enabled in your tenant. But if you have that, you get model choice, or you can use, like you'll see in the demo in a little bit, and for Excel, you can have the auto one and let it choose the one for you. And always, always, always with anything that we do inside Copilot, you're going to have the enterprise security. So you're going to respect your sensitivity labels, the changes, everything that you're going to have, even the control Z or the undo. If you don't like something and you need to revert back, you have that. So you have those capabilities. But you can always count on that when Copilot does anything with you, if you have sensitivity labels put out there or you have permissions out there, you can always make sure that whether you should or should not have access to it, those are going to be respected. And that's always a key part of this. So when you're in Copilot for Word, what can it do? Like these are some really cool, and I put some sample prompts up here. These are great, and we'll actually run through. I think the top one is in the demo that a portion of the top one is in the demo that we get to. But what you can have is you can have sections, and you can have it, let's reword this, or let's restructure this because my audience is going to be X. Like I want to do an executive briefing, and I want to rewrite this for more of an executive spin. Well, Copilot inside Word can help you do that. And maybe it can go out and find more up-to-date information that you don't have, or that you didn't know you have because it's in your work IQ, but there's just so much stuff being fed into it and you don't know who updated, or you don't know what you didn't know. So work IQ can help you go out there and get that information. Edit in Excel. This is the one I was mentioning, that you do have model choice today. So this is a really good one to use, and you'll see in the demo. This one actually, the demo took a while when I was prepping it up. That very first prompt is the one that we're going to do, but you'll see it can do more than just one thing at a time. And so what you can do inside Excel has really evolved quickly since these features have come into Excel. Before, it was always one thing, or you can maybe do two. You can do a lot of things at once inside Edit with Excel. Granted, again, you need that Copilot Premium license to do that, but I'm just amazed at how fast these features are coming in to Excel with everything that you can do. Because I don't know about you guys, but me, anytime I needed to do anything Excel other than populating cells itself, it's like, okay, let me open up the internet, let me open up Bing and figure out how to do this stacked conditional formatting, or how can I do this formula, because I can't get it just right. Now all you can do is just open up Edit in Copilot, tell it what you need to do, and it'll do it for you. So you're saving a lot of time doing all that trial and error. Is this the right page that I'm looking at to build this conditional format? 9 times out of 10 is not the right one, and so you're having to go through several iterations yourself. Now you can just ask that question and it can do it for you. And on top of that, you can stack multiple things up on top of it and really accelerate what you're doing in Excel. If you can't tell, I really like what we're doing here with Edit in Excel. PowerPoint, well, I mean, who doesn't hate PowerPoint, right? There's so much you can do with PowerPoint, and the demo that I'm going to do in a little bit is going to be PowerPoint agents, not Edit in PowerPoint, but you can do the same thing today. Like, you have this deck and there's just too much content on here. You're like, I want to say all this stuff, but it's really, really word heavy. And I want to take some of those words out, put it in the speaker note, but I don't want to lose the visualization on the slide, because I do want some of the text on there, because people are going to ask for these slides. So you can have Edit with Copilot up and you can say, I like this slide. This slide encompasses everything I need, but let's make it simpler. Let's make it more visually appealing and put a lot of this content down into the speaker notes for me, for when I share this deck later. They'll still get all the information that I want, and I can talk about it on this slide, so I don't want to lose this information. So instead of you trying to figure out the best way to do it, let AI have a stab at it. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a lot better. Right now, this one doesn't have model choice, but soon it is going to have model choice, so it'll do it all for you. Again, Copilot Premium license is needed for this. Any questions in the chat that we need to look at yet, guys? I don't see any. Yep, we're looking good. All right, so here's the agents. Sorry, guys, I told you we were going to talk a little bit about agents, but we're not going to go way down in the weeds on it. But the way how agents are today, so like we mentioned, we had agent mode, now we have edit in, those are the same, but now there's these new agents that are out there. So if you're in the Copilot kind of application or in the web, underneath agents on the left hand side, if you don't already have them pinned, just search down and hit all agents and search for the Word agent or the Excel agent or the PowerPoint agent. But how this works, like that flow chart I have down at the bottom, is it starts in the chat window. You're not in the application. So you open up the chat window and you either at the agent itself or you go into that agent chat and you tell it what you want. You tell it the idea. This is where your promptings are going to come into play. Make sure that you're putting a great prompt at what you need to do. And it's going to do a lot of things out the bat. And if you have Anthropic enabled in your tenant, it's going to auto choose which model is the best for you. But if you don't, then obviously it's just going to be the GPT models. And if you have the premium license, now it can actually go into your work IQ models as well. So if you just have a basic, this will still work. You'll only be at the web data though. So if you have the full license, the premium license, then you'll be able to gather a bunch of stuff inside your tenant as well. So the agent will plan and it'll do its own research. It'll figure out based on what it has access to, meaning what you have access to, and it'll do its own research and it'll create a plan. And then as it's going through, and you'll see in the demo here in a minute, you'll actually see the multi-step creation that it's doing. So you're going to see how it's iterating in real time. And if it finds issues or if it can't find something, you'll even see the next steps that it's going to take from that. When it's done with that, it's going to output it into your OneDrive. And you'll see, like in the demo, you'll see in a little bit, you'll see the PowerPoint slides that it's creating in the chat window. And when it's done and it's already outputted into your OneDrive, in the PowerPoint demo, you'll see it'll say open in PowerPoint. And so now you can go directly into PowerPoint, directly into that app in case you need to or want to make any edits for it. So it's a really powerful tool. You're like, okay, that's a lot. When do I use what? It depends on what you're wanting to do. And I know people don't like the it depends kind of option, but we like to give you options, and that's just how we operate over here. So if you're inside the applications already and you need to make edits and you need Copilot's help, that's where the edit in the apps is going to benefit you. Again, you're going to need that premium license for it. So that's the Copilot paid license you're going to need. But editing, iterating existing docs, real-time edits, you can see what it's doing, and if you like what it's doing, you can accept them. And if you don't like what it's doing, you can say, yeah, let's try again, or let's undo that and completely start all over. The agents, you start in the chat window. Again, this can be for all users that have Copilot, no matter if it's basic or premium as it sits today. It doesn't matter where you are, you can start it. You're creating it from scratch. You had this idea. So it's basically that brainstorm to finished product. That's what you're wanting to do. That's what this is great at doing. And they're going to be saved in your OneDrive. So even if it gets you 50% of the way there, 60% of the way, even less, it gets you 30% of the way there. That's better than just staring at a blank PowerPoint screen. So you can actually see where you're doing and you can get started, and getting started is always the hardest part. All right, so let's see, we had a couple questions come in. Is it possible to have WXP agents for company-defined templates? I think JW talked in the top that it's coming. It's not there out the gate yet, as everything is. We get something out there and we iterate on top of it, but it is coming. And you'll see in the PowerPoint agent one that there are templates that are there for you to use, whether it's your company defined ones. It's not going to be there just yet, but you can get some branding colors in there. So let's go into the Word demo. So hopefully everybody can see this. Like I said, this is pre-recorded that we did earlier. So let me frame out the situation that we have here. We came out of a meeting and we had meeting recap running, and we grabbed a bunch of notes, and I grabbed a bunch of notes in my OneNote, and I just dumped them all into a Word file. Then all of a sudden my boss says, hey, you just had that meeting. We need this for a briefing later, so please turn all your notes into executive summary and what the key takeaways are and what the, still left to be planned to be done, what the blockers are. I need all that information stat. I was like, okay, well, I'm about to jump into another meeting. Let's see what Copilot can do for me. So we'll walk through this. So I have all my notes right there, as you can see. And you'll see me drop a prompt in. And first I go into edit mode. So always make sure that you're going to go into allow editing. And then I'm going to drop the prompt in. Sorry about that. So I dropped the prompt in. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to restructure this into an executive summary with some key decisions, some action items. And I said, let's go. Now Copilot is working for me, and it's looking through all these notes. And you can see that out the gate, it's already starting to format the document for me with the headers and such that I need, because this is going to be delivered to a lot of people inside of the organization. So it starts to fill out, it's taking my notes in real time and starting to fill out this document for me. Putting headers out there, bolding out what the go live dates is, what the strategies are there, what action items we have, who said what. It's even putting, who's assigned to what. So it's really doing a lot of the information that, in order, if I'm doing this, right, I'm going to have to go through my notes. Who said what? Who said this? It's going to take me a while just to figure out how to structure this. And this one I didn't cut when I was doing this demo. This was all in real time as I was doing it. So just like that, I get to read out what it did on the right-hand side in the Copilot window. I'm reviewing it. Man, this is exactly what I need. I'm just going to go ahead and hit done, and I'm going to keep all the changes. And now, because it's edited in Word, it's saved for me. Now I have this finished document that I can easily send my boss. That was what, 3 minutes versus how long would that have taken me to do? All with a simple prompt from meeting notes. So as we move into Excel, this one's where I like the example that I pulled. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a P&L with forecast in it, but I wanted to go back and look at things that I have in my work IQ that I have access to. I wanted to help me create a lot of things. This one took, when I actually ran the demo in my environment, the actual time for this to complete was about approximately 9 minutes. And I didn't want you to sit here and just watch it run for 9 minutes. So that's why I did take some cutting out of here. But you'll see the amount of work that it's going to do during this, and I condensed it down to just a couple minutes. So I went into Excel, made sure I did allow editing. In this video on that portion right there, I wanted to show you that you do have model choice in Excel, but I'm going to keep it on auto for this demo. So I'm going to create a P&L forecast of 12 months starting in January 26, with including revenue, COGS, and some other things that I want, and I want some adjusted assumptions at the top. Pretty involved prompt, right? There's a lot of things I'm doing there. So out the gate, it found information, put the header out there for me, started filling some information in for me. I was like, all right, now we're into a good start already. Now I'm adding more data and it's color coding some things for me. So, okay, great. I'm getting some visualizations. It's not just numbers and words on a spreadsheet, which, you know, we all just love numbers and words on spreadsheets. We love looking at very vanilla spreadsheets. So put another you know, kind of title bar there, more revenues, some COGS stuff in there for me, some gross profit in there, even pulled out all the dates. So we can see January through the end of the year, has a total screen for us. So it's already adding them up. It's already got some formulas in there. It's like, this is great. This is awesome. Granted, I haven't done anything yet, right? This is Copilot doing everything for me. Oh, wow. It just formatted my tables for me. It just put the bold and the highlights around the tables. All right. So all these are little things that add up. Remember, I only gave it one prompt. Remember on the flip, we were talking about how Excel's come such a long way where it can do multi-steps for you. It's not just doing one thing at a time. So it's processing, it's making sure all the formulas are correct. Something happened, it converted something on accident. So let me fix that. So it converted it back into the dates. I don't know if you saw that on the screen there, but you can go back and look at the recording. That all of a sudden the numbers changed. Basically it chose the wrong number category, so it flipped it back. It's like, okay, great. I'm done. And you can see on the right-hand side in the Copilot window, here's everything I've done from that one prompt. I'm going to tell you everything that I've done so you can validate to make sure this is right. This, you know, checking everything, because we always want to make sure human in the loop that we trust and verify. Okay, this is great. I have the Excel sheet that I need, and now I have a finished product. Granted, like I said, this one took about 9 minutes. I know the video was only a couple minutes, but it did take about 9 minutes. I don't know about you. I could not create that document in 9 minutes. I'm not an Excel whiz, but you know, I'm decent in Excel. Hey, Will, you got a question?
Yeah, what did you do during that 9 minutes?
I watched it ran because I was recording it for the demo.
That's the wrong answer, Chris. What Chris was supposed to say was that the value that Copilot brings is not you sitting there watching it work. The value that it brings is the time you save and you go do something else while it works. So don't just sit and watch Copilot work unless you're just interested. If you want to watch it, that's fine. But the value that's going to bring is going to be what you go do during that time. If you're able to do something else while it's doing that for you, that's value.
Yeah, you're right. I was just poking fun. But yeah, but to the point earlier that I was mentioning too, do you think I could have created this sheet as it sits today in 9 minutes? So I get what you're saying. You don't need to watch it. You can just let it run 100%. You can go answer emails. You can refill your water, for whatever you need to do. Could you have created this in 9 minutes? I don't think I could even populate all those fields in 9 minutes. So it's going to save work, and then you can go on to other things, as Will was mentioning as well. So let's take a look at the agents. Sorry, guys. Again, I know you promised no agents, but this is the PowerPoint agent. So what we're going to do here is, you can see that we're in the Copilot Chat window. And on the left-hand side, you can see underneath agents where it says researcher and analyst and then PowerPoint list. This is a PowerPoint agent that is out there. That's a first-party agent. You can go out and then you can install it. All I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a prompt in here for what I need it to do. and the prompt's going to run, and you're going to see it run. You're going to start seeing it iterate. And this one, on initial launch of this one, and Will, you're going to call me out again. I did sit here and watch it because I wanted to see how long it took. But to Will's point, I could have went on and did something else. But for the sakes of this and being honest with everybody, yeah, I watched it. You'll see how it iterates, and you'll see how it'll build things. So when it first comes out, you drop the prompt in there. It's going to do a little bit of validation for you. It's going to ask you some clarifying questions. And that's the cool thing. It's not just going to take what you want and go, or it's not going to take what you put rather and go. It's going to make sure, like it just mentioned on the screen, I want to make sure I understand what you're talking about. Who do you want this for? And so this is, I'm going to say, here's the kind of people that are going to read this. And do I want a detailed? No, I want a concise one because I'm going to lose people's attention. So let's change it. So I clicked on concise, and you can see I selected a theme. It's like, the closest one to what I want to use is this Arctic theme. So let's do it. Now I'm set. Let's go. So I clicked on let's go. Now it's understanding your request again because you slightly changed it because you kind of went down another layer and specified more things that you wanted inside the prompt. So now it's going to start lining things up, and it's going to look at all the information that needs to go. So it's working on things. It's going out. Like I said, if you only have the Copilot Basic license, then it's just going to go out to web content. And if you have a Copilot Premium license, then it's going to start analyzing inside your work IQ that you have access to as well. So it's creating my presentation. It's putting all the the presentations in there, and now it's going to start building some slides. Puts it in view only mode just so you can see what's happening. So you can start seeing it, it's creating the slides, and it puts it in view only mode initially because it's still creating, but it gives you the ability to start looking at it now and figuring out if this is what you want, so you can start gathering your ideas to put them in the prompts if you want to refine it. You can see, okay, I like the title page is really good. I like the imaging that it uses. Remember, out the bat, I gave it a prompt. I didn't say what images to use. I didn't tell it anything. I just said what the end goal was, and it created all the visuals for me. I didn't have to do any of this stuff. So I'm scrolling through while it's still working. Yeah, this is kind of the content I want. I like this. This is getting me a lot closer to what I had just when I had the idea. And so now it's, again, I'm not starting at this blank page, this white page. I'm actually getting something very tangible that I can work with. Maybe those numbers weren't exactly where I wanted it to be, but hey, I've got plenty of references now too. So where it found these information, I can go back and human in the loop and make sure that everything that it created is correct. And you can see on the left-hand side, now it's extracting, or it was extracting and preparing it for the presentation tile. Now the file is created. Okay, great. Now I'm going to get it ready to drop into your OneDrive. And as always with Copilot, it's going to say what I did. So I created the 7 slide. Here it is. Review it, make sure everything's going. Now I'm going to scroll up to the top one thing to see if it changed anything, because it can and does change as it goes. Okay, great, I liked it, but I want to edit it. Open in PowerPoint. Now I'm directly in PowerPoint, and if I need to make any edits, now I'm in here and inside PowerPoint where I can actually look at it. So scrolling through here, making sure all the content is where I needed it, and we're all the way through. Okay, I like it. I made my edits. Granted, I didn't make any. Everything looks good. It's exactly what I saw inside Copilot. Did a little human in the loop validation, and we're good. Again, this one took about 10 to 12 minutes when I was doing it in my demo. Granted, I cut this up so you weren't watching it just work the whole time, but 3 minutes in of a video, how long would that have taken anybody to make that kind of a PowerPoint, even if you're stealing slides from other decks that you already have? I don't know if you could have been that quick. And to Will's point a little bit ago, I could have been working on something else. I could have popped into a meeting that I had with somebody. I could have been typing up something else. I could have been answering emails. I could have been answering some Teams requests. So I could be doing a lot of things while this is working. So talking about saving time, and it doesn't matter if you have a license or not, you get some form of this. Now, if you have Copilot Basic, you're going to be limited to just the GPT models, and you're going to be limited to just web content. But if you have a premium license, now your work IQ lights up, and if you have Anthropic turned on inside your tenant, now that lights up. So now you can use some auto modeling there as well. So if any of this is interested to you, here's some, I put some of the blog posts that came out recently. And if you're interested in the edit in, like the Copilot Word and Excel, those support documentations are there if you want to get a little bit more information on those as well. So with that, I will turn it back over to you, JW.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Brian, if you scroll up in our chat, my friend, you'll see a nice section that I plopped in called branding kits. Branding kits, right? And it'll show you how to set up the branding kit. And I've got another quick document that will show you how to set up the organizational library, the OAL as they call it. I'm going to send you that info right now.
But as he's doing that, Chris, confirm, I mean, OAL, can we even do that yet in PowerPoint Agent, or is that still something that we're developing?
It is, to my knowledge, it's still, it's coming out soon, but it's still,
they're still working on it. Yeah.
Branding kits does work. So I reference,
definitely roadmap,
right?
but it's coming.
Yeah, branding kits you can use. You can reference, right, a PowerPoint, right? So you might say like
that's the other thing.
Yeah, Contoso, right. It does work.
But it would be awesome if it would be part of that listing, right, of all the different styles that we want to be able to do and templates we want to do. It'd be great if the organizational asset library was in there with those templates, so I could just point to it and go, as opposed to having to add it in. So I think that's what we're really working towards. Yeah.
If you don't have to set up the OAL as well as the branding kits, you can do one or the other, right? You can just do branding kits. Don't worry about the organizational asset library. If your company has a PDF of your sort of branding guidelines, you can upload that and look through the guideline and pull out what it needs and make it part of the branding kit. So you don't have to do a bunch of other work, by the way. Extremely powerful. So maybe, Chris, we could, right, do this. I could share a little bit of that if somebody would like me to. I can go out on a limb here.
But you could see that they put, they did future-proof it though, right? Because when we were going through the PowerPoint agents, it did allow you to select the themes. So, I mean, they knew that people were going to want this, so that placeholder is only there. So it's just finishing up the plumbing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Brian, to the best of my knowledge, I spoke to the PowerPoint templates folks. They said I didn't necessarily need to set up an OAL, by the way. So, being that it pulls, I can share if we'd like to do that, go out on a limb here. I'm going to go out as what they say, without a net. I am without a net here.
Again, JW? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So we're going to click under Create right here on the left, and then scroll down for you folks who are still hanging on the line with me. Very nice of you today. You'll see branding kits. Remember, there is a role here called the brand manager, and that is a policy that needs to be set in your administrative sort of world, in your admin M365. There's a role called brand manager. So if I click on the brand kit, you'll see I've got a couple here. I've got the Contoso Artemis kit right here. This is the Artemis 2 kit. I'm going to open that up and show you what's under the Artemis kit. Right, I've got this cool logo here, and you notice that I use the Zava brand guidelines to pull all this data in, right? And this is what I did. I found a logo, colors, fonts, voice, and style. And what I did was I actually asked Copilot to create me a cool branding kit PDF, and this is what it did. And I use that as part of this. It's got my colors here. It's got picked up my colors, some Zava secondary accent palettes. It's got some fonts. I didn't pick up anything there. Images, right? It must have an image. There's the Artemis. I got a little image that I made it. And here are the templates. I use the Zava basic template. So while I'm using the Power Edit in PowerPoint, I can reference this branding kit, and it'll actually use all of those assets, the fonts, the colors, this template to draw and build out. And there's my style, right? Zava, I had a little voice. and well as on how it should be done and its styling. So yeah, play around with the branding kit and use those templates from above, the links around branding kit, creating and managing, keeping it, the guidelines. If you've got feedback, let us know, because I am really getting real tight with the PowerPoint templates, folks. They want to hear from folks like you about this monstrosity that they've created called the branding kit, and the confusion between that and the OAL. Woo. All right. Yes, a lot to be said there. Are there any questions? We can literally take everybody off of mute if you want to do, or raise your hand. Can they raise their hand? We can take people off of mute.
I want to call out one thing. Will, he looked today. So when I looked yesterday, it was not there, but Will says model choice is showing up in the web version of PowerPoint today. So I want to make sure everybody saw that if you didn't see Will's comment there. It's not in the desktop quite yet, but it is in web.
Yeah,
that was just announced GA today. So
yeah, that's what I thought. It was
again, we're moving so fast, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yep. So, model choice, I'm just going to go to this little PDF or PowerPoint that I have. I was just creating something called a meeting for yesterday. It was my tax meeting, believe it or not. Yes, I know, believe it or not. And so I got the Copilot in. Should be able to have multi-modal, right, reasoning here.
Doesn't look like you got the up there.
There it is. Right on.
Let's go with Opus. Yeah, this is our demo. So
yeah,
demo.
and again, you won't be able to see any Anthropic if you don't have that subprocessor enabled in your tenants, right? Your administrators have to have that enabled. Otherwise, you'd be able to see all options exactly like this right now.
Brian, I agree with you. I will take that feedback back to the team to tell them that could reference the link from the OAL instead of uploading images and templates. I hear you. Very confusing. Very, very confusing. There it is. We've got PowerPoint now, and we've got options in the client as well as the web of PowerPoint. There it is. Yeah. Here it is, folks. You saw it first.
Well, and it depends upon when your desktop gets updated, right? So it depends upon what channel you happen to be on for your desktop apps and when those get updated and out. So you never know.
Yes.
So keep an eye out for it. So it's coming. So it's out there. Like Will mentioned, GA as of today, April 16th.
That's crazy.
Somehow mine showed up today, just as is. I'm a lucky guy. Any questions from anyone? Just raise your hand and we can take you off of mute and we can get you right there. Brian.
Go ahead. You can come off mute.
Yeah, Brian. So hi, thanks for taking my question. So we are in the beginning of building out, trying to deploy the brand manager, the brand kit for the enterprise.
Stephanie told us, no way, not happening. No, we're joking.
Stephanie's a partner in crime, actually.
I know.
So we've got organization asset library, one for images and one for templates. I work in the marketing team, and my question is kind of like, what's the best path? Because we have our main brand for our company, and then we have like an event brand for our annual conference, right? Like Microsoft Ignite, for example, right? So we want to kind of have a brand kit specific with templates for that event, but we want to have our main one. So we're trying to figure out what's the path of least resistance to tell users, like how do we build it out? Because people are asking, I want to just go to Copilot, have it make a template in PowerPoint, using branded templates, how do I do it? And so I don't know which is the right direction to go, which is like the easiest path.
The easiest path. So because this is still developing and evolving, the easiest path is probably the only path currently, but to the point, it's evolving. To use the kits today, because that's how it's plumbed up today. Again, the OAL is not plumbed up. The framework is there, but it's not plumbed up. So as far as the easiest way or the preferred practice way, that's still yet to be determined based on how things are rolling out. So right now you might only have one option, and that's, to have that brand kit already there and to reference it in your prompt.
Yeah, because I noticed when I built the brand kit just a couple days ago, we're updating the brand slightly. When I built the brand kit, when I went to add images or templates, it automatically went to the OAL as the source. So I could select everything, and then it would upload them, in the background manually into the brand kit. So it wasn't that direct reference, but that's what my earlier question was, or my suggestion to take back is, brands update over time. So we would have to manually update the brand kit, which I know you can do, but delete potentially hundreds of images, dozens of templates, then go back and, add the new ones. So having that direct OAL, they just seem to be tied at the hip, but not quite, like you said earlier, the plumbing's not there yet.
Yeah, and like we mentioned, the framework is there. They know where the pipes need to go, so to speak. It's just there's a lot of competing priorities on the different teams, and they're getting to things as fast as they can. And this is what we have today. And let's take it or leave it. That's what we have, but it will get better.
Yeah, no, and this is all very helpful, because then because people are asking like, well, what can we do? Can't we do that? And I can say, well, not yet, because Microsoft said so. So it's just knowing what is capable really helps a great deal. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Good question. Good question.
Any others?
Right. Yeah. And you notice as I was walking through it, I said, my prompt was easy. Apply the Contoso brand kit, and it went through it. It saw a couple of different templates that I must have had there, and it let me choose the one I wanted, and I hit go, and you'll see now it's doing its darndest to apply that template to this beautiful presentation I have here on meeting 415. It was my tax accountant meeting.
Yeah, and one thing while this is working, we need to make sure people are aware, because we're coming from just the prompt world and we're going into the agent world. Prompts were quick. Agents take a little bit of time to run. So to the point that Will was poking fun at me, put your question in there, let it run, go do something else and come back and see if it's finished. So you can start to knock off things. You don't have to sit there and watch it like we are right now, just because for the sake of this, we're just seeing if it's going to work. But this is allowing you to go do other things.
Any other questions? One prompt I really love that I've used a few times for Excel is just reasoning over mass amounts of data, right? So this is a prompt that I've used several times for executives, right? Around, imagine one of the worksheets is called monthly financial data, right? Just imagine. And whatever it might be. And then through this, you could do revenue and net profit and KPIs and highlights. Like, this is some powerful stuff to take Excel, as Chris mentioned earlier. Maybe we're just entering stuff in a cell, right? We're just not that wicked smart when it comes to Excel. But if you're living in the finance world and you're using Excel all the time, this is a great way to bring insights to the data for executives. So I use type of these for executives to help bring life and love and some great pie charts and eye candy to executives who just love and eat that stuff up. So, yeah, very cool. Here it comes. And if you haven't, hey, Don just posted in our chat, if you haven't had a chance to sort of fill out one of these quick surveys, let us know how we're doing. This is one of those community-sponsored, supported, funded activities. We'd like to be here with you guys month in and month out. But if we don't know what to talk about, we love your suggestion. And if you need help from us, because we're cloud solution architects, let us know. And we'll be able to give you some guidance and set you on the right path. And if not, you can just post everything in the community, right? You should have a link to the community, and you should be able to go there to see the knowledge, see what's coming up next month. And don't forget to tell everyone that you know that about this Copilot community. It's for everyone, not for anybody specific. So anything else? Any questions? Anything to think about here as you're using and you're able to articulate this back to your folks in your company, your end users, how to use this. I did post in the community that I will show right now. Let me just get down there real fast. I posted in the community a little knowledge sharing. And you'll notice here in the knowledge sharing, this edit mode in Word, Excel, PowerPoint. So if you haven't had an opportunity, head on over to the knowledge sharing. You'll see this little PowerPoint I posted this morning that you can now send to everyone in your company on how to use WXP, the agent mode. That's what we're calling it. Edit mode in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and abbreviated WXP. So this is something you can download, make it your own, and share it as a good adoption piece. So yeah, and keep your eye on the announcements. We'll be announcing next month with Notebook and our friends over in the product group. And if you need a help, don't forget to post something on help, because we're helpless over here because we don't have anybody who's posted anything decent. So
yeah, everybody's got it figured out, I think.
Yes.
All right.
Any questions do we have in these last
Looks like
minutes?
they
So
don't have.
I have one question. Like, I'm just curious, like, do we have similar community for the Power BI Copilot as well, or is it part of this?
Not that we know of that's Microsoft run. There may be some other ones that are out there that maybe are MVPs or some of those that are actually doing that. This one is a internal one that we just set up because we know customers need this information.
Okay.
Sounds like
yeah, because
people
I'd be interested to learn more around the Power BI Copilot as well, actually. So.
You know, and I know that I live in the Minneapolis area, and I know there is a Power BI user group in this area. So I would look in your area and see if there's any like user groups that may already be out there that you can tap into a lot of times. But I haven't heard anything internally of anybody that's done that.
Okay.
Hey, look at this. My presentation changed.
Good job.
Yeah, and look, it's got like my master slide and everything's there. It's got my logo. So just within a few minutes, we were able to take just a plain silly PowerPoint and apply my branding kit. And, you'll notice I could do a bunch of other things from here, right? I can add the logo, right? Adjust the content, apply some other branding elements. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So you see how it referenced this, and it actually used my organizational library asset, believe it or not.
Nice.
Oddly. So I must have referenced it, or I think I can apply. Let me see, the other kit was called. I can't even remember what the kit was called originally. Contoso brand kit 1. Let's see. See if it does it. Maybe it'll just keep on changing it for me. Yes.
Magnus, you have a question?
Magnus.
Yeah, I have a question. I cannot put the camera on, right? But
No, you're fine.
that's fine. Yeah. So thanks a lot for this today. It's great. So I work for a large organization, and in 2 weeks, we're going to have an agent creation session, actually with someone from Microsoft coming in and helping us. Cool. And so we did the same thing in January. So people are requesting like a retake on that. Yep. And so this time we are planning to launch a Copilot agent journey. We had someone here like in December or somewhere showing the great Copilot journey, which was about prompting, how to start with prompting. So we want to design the agent creation or agent journey. Because Chris, I heard you saying that agents is the new thing, like prompts. Mm-hmm. It's quick. Agent takes time.
Correct.
So we were thinking about showing like the agents in the agent store. show how to create agent through Agent Builder, move into Copilot Studio. Now, I'm wondering, should we also, and this is like the question, so should we, agent mode, which is now, it seems to be, where is the agent? It's like part of Word and PowerPoint. It's like,
Yeah, so it's not agent.
Yeah.
It's not agent mode anymore. It's the edit with. So there was a little name change there, but there is the first party agents. To your point, to your question though, there's lots of ways that we can help with that. I mean, we have kind of like an Agent 101 training that we do, and then like the one JW and I did today was yesterday and today. It's very encompassing where it does the gamut. It starts from the beginning and goes all the way. We even touched on a bit. When I say touched, I mean we put our finger on it. Some Azure Foundry. We barely touched it, but we did.
Yeah, I'm trying to orientate myself in order to orientate our users. Like, what is an agent? Because it's changing. Like, I find that now with the agent, edit with Copilot in Word, for example, it's integrated in Word. So Word has become an agent in itself, kind of thing. So where are the agents and how to get a concrete understanding of the agents? That is what I'm fighting with right now. Like, and yeah.
Well, and to that point, I guess I don't really feel like edit with or edit in is really an agent anymore. It's what Copilot should have been doing for Word, Excel, PowerPoint in the first place. Now, granted, you can still ask questions, right? And that's always going to be the case. Like I got an Excel spreadsheet and I see all the data and I want to make sense of that. It's great for doing that. But if I really wanted to interact with that document, that's where edit with gives you that interaction. And it's not truly an agent. Like if I'm going to go into researcher agent and researcher agent is going to be doing this, right? Versus analyst agent versus prompt coach, or, what any of those agents are out there that might be more specialized, and that that knowledge source behind the scenes is very limited, especially if you're thinking about like a custom agent that's out there. That's a different scenario, and you're going to have different outputs depending upon what that agent is meant for, right? So edit with or edit in is really about being able to work on that document, and it's not necessarily an agent. Again, that was our marketing people that had some fun with that, and agent mode was the first thing they came up with.
Okay, then I get it. So yeah. Maybe we should not cover that in the agent journey then. That's like office training.
Yeah, agent mode was renamed from agent mode because it's not actually an agent. It never was. Agreed. It was poorly named to begin with. So that's why it was renamed to Edit in Copilot.
Yep.
Agents are going to show up in Copilot Chat as a...
No matter where you're at. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can like mention it and whatnot. You can't do that with Edit in Copilot. Those are specifically built in app for working on the canvas of whatever app we're in.
Speaking about that, Copilot Co-work, that's an agent, right?
Yeah, we're going to probably end up doing a whole session on co-work, I think.
Yeah. That one's still frontier, so I'm not even sure we have a GA date set for that one yet.
We don't think so. Not yet.
Yeah, but if you're in Frontier, I encourage you to play with it, though.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm doing that. Yeah, it's creating great PowerPoints, actually.